Don't be lazy. Replace that damn sleeping Snorlax with Slaking. The game takes place in Hoenn, not Kanto. Other than that, the game looks amazing. Good luck. You know, I'm not gonna lie, that's a really good point. Now we just gotta scroll down and see if we can find Slaking's overworld sprite. Ah, here we go. Oh. And it's, standing up. Maybe we could use one of these Pokemon Ranger sleeping sprites? I'm not sure. I gotta say, the Bulba Garden Archives is a great place to find images for a Pokemon you're looking for. We could maybe try one of the icons. Of course, right when I start recording, these landscapers gotta roll up in this loud-ass truck. Oh, look, a Tailo! I'm not gonna lie, I really like this one. I wonder if I can, make it pixelated. So we're gonna be replacing this Snorlax overworld sprite, which is 32 by 32. If you guys are wondering how I do my sprite editing, a lot of it is actually done through Microsoft Paint. It's easy to use, and it's just included with Windows. Alright, let's try copy and pasting this icon. And then we'll go ahead and make its eyes closed. I think that looks alright. Let's try it in the game. Now, if you guys didn't know, it's really good to make a debug world in your ROM hack for testing. I have warps to all the different towns and cities, and this Porygon gives me a ton of options, like giving me all the Pokemon or items or whatever I need. Alright, we're back in Verdanturf Town, and here we have the Slaking. Maybe it looks a little off, I don't know. What do you guys think? The Pokeflute that we used to wake up the Slaking also has a new sprite. It's taken from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, just to change it up a little bit. Okay, now the Slaking is a little underleveled at 30 when Vigoroth evolves at 36, which I don't think is that big of a deal. It's more balanced for this point in the game, and I guess it makes it a little more special in a way, because now you can have this fully evolved Pokemon earlier on. Now we can also try downscaling this sprite that I really liked. This is from Pokemon Sleep. Go ahead and remove that shadow. Now let's downsize it to 32 by 32. Alright, so I did downsize it. Obviously, it's super pixelated now, and I'm not sure if I have the skills to kind of clean it up and make it look nice, so I think I'm just going to stick to that icon I was using. Now, I do have to account for the Slaking that's also on Route 116, and I think I just need to move it up a little bit more so it blocks the path. We'll just bring this up by 2 pixels. There we go, that's a little bit better. I'll obviously adjust it so your player doesn't walk under it like that. So hyped for the full release. Will there be more fossil Pokemon available, or will it just be Hoenn fossils? So far, yes. We already have Aerodactyl's Old Amber available in Ashfall City, so you'll be able to revive Aerodactyl later on in the game. Why aren't you using decomps? The simple answer is I have no idea how to do decomps, and it is way too complicated for me to figure out. I have no prior programming knowledge or anything like that, so it's a little bit easier to work with Hexmaniac Advance. Do you have prior experience as a game dev? This is fairly impressive so far. The answer to that is no. I've just been a long-time Pokemon fan for over 20 years. I do understand game design to a certain degree, especially for Pokemon, so I guess that kind of plays into that. Getting rid of secret bases for secret grottos instead of expanding them. 0 out of 10 worst ROM hack ever. That's actually a great point. I would love to expand on them, but the one problem is that the secret bases have so many awesome overworld sprites that I want to replace with my own instead. And to use these limited overworld spots for purposes that tie in directly more into the game's story is more important to me. With binary hacking, I limited it to 240 sprites. Will there be Fakemon added, or will it just be Pokemon from future generations like that brief clip of Cloth? I am personally not a fan of any Fakemon designs. I think the official Pokemon designs themselves have had a lot of thought put into them by Game Freak. I think their designs are just so much more high quality compared to Fakemons that fans have designed. So I'm just sticking with the regular Pokemon. Everything about this looks and sounds amazing. My one little nitpick is that the Gen 3 and Gen 5 styles of Pokemon sprites don't blend well together. Like, it looks a bit off when a Gen 3 back sprite is facing off against a Gen 5 sprite and vice versa. As much as I don't like it, I think it'll be more uniform if you use Gen 5 sprites for all the Pokemon. Or commission Gen 3 style sprites for new additions. Again, this is just an OCD nitpick and doesn't take away from all the incredible features you've added. I can't wait to play this. This is also a really good point and something I've already thought of. One way I was able to kind of change this is I'm using a lot of the Pokemon's original palettes from the Gen 3 games. So here, this Munchlax here is a great example. Then, whenever I added evolution or pre-evolution Pokemon like this, I made the Pokemon that was already in the game have the newer sprite as well, so it kind of matches a little bit better. As you can see, this other example here, we have Nosepass and Probopass. I gave it its original color palette to make it match the Gen 3 style a little bit more. I did this for Honchkrow as well, and I think this one turned out really nice. Also remember again that everything I'm showing you right now is beta gameplay. Everything is subject to change soon. The one thing I will not do is commission anybody because I'm not able to make any money off this ROM hack anyways, so I don't really want to spend any extra money trying to get custom sprites for this project. If you want to contribute though, I will include you in the credits of course. And if any of you are good sprite designers, go ahead and join my Discord and let me know. Crady, did you eat your vegetables? Bike path is looking so fun. Yes, the new seaside cycling road has been greatly upgraded in Pokemon Ruby 2. It's a lot bigger and features a lot more trainers, including the trainer biker class from Fire Red and Leaf Green. And I even made a new overworld sprite that fits it pretty well. Can't wait to play this in 2060. More like summer 2025. How many Pokemon are there? With binary hacking, I'm limited to a 255 regional Pokedex size, and I think that's what I'm going to keep it at, but I'll add some post-game legendaries and stuff that will be outside of that 255. I could just make it where you get the national dex right away to have more than 255, but I think that's kind of a good point. I don't like when some of the games are too oversaturated, and I want to focus on the new Pokemon ecosystem, which consists of a lot of fire types and ground types. Is there a way to find secret grottos that's not checking every single tile in the area? I think the secret grottos will be pretty easily identifiable, because the rocks have a slightly different pattern, and the trees have this little vine hanging down. In the sand, you're going to get this little sparkle effect that might be a little bit harder to see, but certainly not impossible. Crady found a full odds shiny Heracross while debugging his hack, by the way. Yes, this is true. I did find a full odds shiny while debugging my Honey Tree script. Remember, the newly updated shiny odds are based on Gen 6 and up, which is 1 out of 4096, so it's still very rare but twice as good as the original game. I was pretty excited to find this because in all of my testing and playing of Pokemon Emerald Mini, I never found a shiny. Nice! Chikorita is finally good due to the abundance of ground types and Team Aqua's water types. The only really problem is many fire types. Speaking of Chikorita, I also wanted to bring up the fact that the Johto starters you receive in the game all have much better movesets to make them much more viable. I'm not doing moveset changes for all the Pokemon, but a number of them are going to be slightly enhanced. The starters specifically are going to be pretty good, so you're going to want to keep them on your team. Alright, well I hope you guys enjoyed a little different style of a Pokemon ROM hacking video today. I wanted to answer a few of the questions some of you had and show you a little bit of the process of adding a new feature, such as the Slay King Overworld battle that was suggested by one of you guys. Remember that the Crady Kingdom Discord server is open to more Ruby 2 discussion, and you'll get sneak peeks of new features much further in advance compared to my videos. Now that we've reached the 8-minute mark of my video, I'll get a little more ad revenue, so thanks for sticking around, and I hope you at least found some entertainment in it. Get the hype train started because Pokemon Ruby 2 is gonna be a blast. I'll see you guys in the next one.